not only ought we to look back to the pre-fall order and make sure we have a biblical assessment of man's face-to-face fellowship with God, his endowment with all the ethical agency and excellency that he needed to obey God in covenant and realize the end for which he was made, but we can also look forward from the incarnation to the cross and understand that the incarnation is inexorably annexed to the work of atonement, and that we don't have an incarnation abstracted from the cross and the resurrection of Christ. The incarnation itself, even post fall, does not save. It's the incarnate Christ who dies and rises who saves. And so I tend to think that a pre-fall notion of the incarnation is not only a distortion of the pre-fall order, but it also entails some kind of abstract notion of the incarnation that severs it from the cross, which I think is also um, unhelpful. Um,
Carlton, that point, I was thinking exactly along those lines. And two thoughts came to mind. One, I remember reading from years ago in Calvin, where he talked about the incarnation per se as weak and insufficient to redeem if separated from the cross and resurrection. And then, secondly, the shorter catechism and larger catechism views the incarnation as a means, as the alpha point of the estate of humiliation and a means to the end of the omega point of that estate, which is the suffering of the cross. And its efficacy is never divorced from the estate of humility, from exaltation that follows. And so I do think that there's a almost a strange philosophical preoccupation in the minds of some to say the incarnation is the central concern. Then you're starting to think metaphysically and abstractly and philosophically, and you're no longer thinking in terms of the way the incarnation functions within the concrete contours of the two estates of Christ.